Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with a category spotlight video. So my plan is to do these every month. I was going to start this at the beginning of the year, much like the author spotlight that I have started doing. But of course, you guys know the first few months, 3 months of this year was kind of a bit of a write-off. So here we are in April, starting it off. So typically for these category spotlight videos, my game plan is to focus on a single different category line or specific series within the lines. For example, like a Desire, like a whole video on just the Desire books, or a whole video on the Fortunes of Texas series, from Special Edition. So there's a lot of ground that I can cover with these category spotlights. But because it's Amish in April, it's April, so it's Amish in April month, that is being hosted by me and Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'll leave link to her channel below. I'll leave direct link actually to her TBR video that she just posted. So today, the day that this video is going up on the 19th of April, is actually the kickoff to Amish in April. So very, very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. So like I said, I thought I would start off these category spotlight videos by doing something a little bit different, where I'm going to kind of talk about Amish books within category romance, specifically Harlequin. Specifically Love Inspired, which is a subsidiary, of course, of Harlequin. So I kind of want to talk about them. I have a stack of them to show you that I have from my own personal collection. I have a few more I'm going to share with you, just not so much the books in these cases, but more, these are the authors. If you are looking for authors who write Amish books for category romance, these are the authors you're going to want to check out. And there are some authors that are not going to be on this list. Marta Perry, who I did an entire video of, she also does write for the Love Inspired line, so do check that out. Karen Harper does some great Amish suspense books as well, but hers are not under the category banner, like they're not under the Love Inspired or what have you. They are single title, so that's why she's not getting a mention here. And there's also an author, at least 2 or 3 authors that write not only for the category lines, but also write for single title. So I will mention those as I come to them as well. So single title, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this terminology. So category is, I got them right here. Category is, silly girl. So this is category. Okay, all of the books are going to look the same. Like they're all going to have like the same blue. It's Love Inspired. It says on the side, it's a Love Inspired and inspirational. It says inspirational romance, March of 2022. So it'll give you the month and the year, the title, the author, but they're all the same. So when I say that, let me just pull 2 of these. Okay, so Love Inspired Suspense. So do you see, like if you were standing in the store, you could clearly see that these are from the same category line. Single title, on the other hand, excuse me, just 1 second. Sorry about that. So single title. So this is not an Amish book. I just grabbed it at random off my shelf. But it has an Amish-looking barn on the cover, so maybe, whatever. But The Last Carolina Sister by Michelle Major. So this is a single title. It is also published by HQN, which is a subsidiary of Harlequin, but it is single title. So it's not part of an imprint. Does that make sense? If you need more classification or clarification, I have done a introduction to category romance video. I talk a lot about category romance on this channel because it's my favorite thing. I've got literally like 4 bookshelves double stacked filled with these books. I love them so much. So anyway, that is kind of just so you understand what I'm talking about if you're new to my channel when I talk about what category romance is. So I went on the Harlequin website and I did a search on the word Amish. And I wanted to see what some of the oldest books that they had on there. The oldest one that I could find, I'm not saying that this was the first Amish book published by Harlequin under the Love Inspired line or what have you, but the one that I found is called Katie's Redemption by Patricia Davids. This came out in 2010. So that's what, 12 years ago? So they've been doing these for a while, and what I noticed as a long time reader of category romance in general, is that the Amish books slowly, you started getting more of them every month. Like as time would go on, they'd start with like a book every couple months, and then all of a sudden it would be like, okay, well, maybe we're going to have a book every month. Now it looks like if you go to the Love Inspired books, if you look at the ones that are coming out for the month of April, I believe there's 3 Amish titles within that line. And for the suspense, there's at least 1. So Amish is quite big within these, and it's becoming like a really interesting subgenre of the inspirational romance line. And I always have to think to myself, because, we know, at least I do, like I've watched some documentaries and stuff like that on people, on Amish people, and they do shop in, like, they will go to Walmart if they need to. And I have to wonder, do they wander by the book section and do they see these and what do they think? I'm always curious about that. I can just imagine them taking them home and reading them and laughing about, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how we act. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, the very first one from what I could find. Now at the beginning, the titles of these were all very specific. They didn't say Amish in the title, but like for that first year and a bit, so there was a few different titles that I found here. So like I said, Katie's Redemption by Patricia Davids, Miriam's Heart by Emma Miller. Emma Miller's also huge within the Amish inspirational romance books, and Hannah's Journey by Anna Schmidt. The last 2 books, Miriam's Heart and Hannah's Journey, both came out in 2011. So, they definitely had that, the character's name, Journey, Heart, something, something, you know what I mean? Like very, with a person's name. So it didn't specifically say Amish in the title. However, you could see, from the cover that clearly this was an Amish inspirational romance. So then I'm going to jump into a couple books that came out in 2022. These are more recent releases, but well-known authors. So again, this is kind of more showcasing the authors. So we have The Amish Twins Next Door by Vanetta Chapman. Again, a 2022 release. The Amish Animal Doctor by Patrice Lewis. I love, love, love the cover of this book. Their Unpredictable Path by Jocelyn McClay, also a 2022 release, looks really cute. And then, of course, I couldn't not put a suspense book in here. Snowbound Amish Survival by Mary Alford, also came out in 2022. So those are just some authors. So as I already mentioned, there are some authors who do write single title. So Patricia Davids, you're going to find a lot of her stuff single title as well. And Vanetta Chapman. Vanetta Chapman is huge within the Amish romance suspense community. There is a series by her, a cozy mystery series that I'm actually reading for Amish in April. I can't remember the name of the series, but I know the first book is called Murder Freshly Brewed, and the one that I'm going to be reading, because I've read book 1, is Murder Tightly Knit, and then there's a third book, so it's a trilogy, but it's by Vanetta Chapman, so definitely check her out. And I'm just kind of looking at the other ones that I have here as well. Carrie Light writes a ton of category. I don't know if she writes single title. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and Joanne Brown. Joanne Brown also writes single title under the Love Inspired, under their single title line. So yeah, it can be a little confusing, and I get it, to a lot of people who are newbies to category romance, but do reach out and let me know again if you have any questions. My understanding in North America, that you can get both the Love Inspired and the Love Inspired suspense lines at your local stores. Like for me, they're available at Walmart. So your mileage may vary, but maybe go ahead and check that out. So I thought I'd show a couple of the ones from my personal collection here. And then, yeah. So the first one, of course, is the one I'm currently reading, which is Building Her Amish Dream by Joanne Brown. So yeah, I'm about not quite halfway through this one right now. And I will talk about this one in this week's vlog. That's all I'm going to say, is I'll talk about this one in this week's vlog. I don't dislike it. It's a cute book. It's a cute book. I'm not loving it, but it's a cute book. So, yeah. Another one that, now I haven't read all of these ones. Oh, and Amish Christmas books are huge. Absolutely huge. So we have her Amish Christmas Sweetheart by Rebecca Kurtz. Like, look at these covers. Are they not gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. I just love, like, the farm. It's just so, they're just, I don't know what it is about Amish books for obviously those of us who are not Amish. Whether or not, I think it's maybe just the simpler, slow down. We live in a society now that is so technology, social media, go driven. You know, we get up in the morning, we go to work, we slave for 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours at a job. We drive home or drive to work in traffic, you know. We get home, we have families, we have responsibilities, cooking dinner, putting the kids to bed, doing the homework. And it's just everything is go. And then on top of all of that is, of course, the social media aspect where, you know, we're being bombarded all the time. I mean, YouTube, you know, I love YouTube. It's my, you know, this is where I've been for the last 6 years, and it's kind of my home here, but I love it. But, you know, it can get overwhelming if, you know, people trying to keep up with their watch later feed, or, you know, keeping up with Instagram or Twitter. And I think that, in my personal opinion, like with the Amish books, it's more like they don't have any of those things. They don't have any of those social media things. They're still busy. They're still very busy. I mean, you know, physically, they do a lot more labor probably than a lot of us on a day-to-day basis, between keeping up with a farm or, you know, things like that. But they're not concerned with what's going on Instagram. They don't obviously even potentially even know what Twitter is. You know, they're not worried about all of those things, and they don't have all of those extra things. It really is simpler. And I think that might be the big draw for these books. That's just my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you think that the draw is with the Amish books. But that's, at least for me, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyway. All that, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that whole little rant tangent thing, but there is that one. I mentioned Carrie Light, her Amish holiday suitor. This one looks super cute. I've not gotten to it yet. And again, like, you know, everything is done by hand. I just think it's delightful, absolutely delightful. And then I've got, of course, some love-inspired suspense, because you guys know I do love the suspense books. So we have Amish Country Ambush by Dana R. Lynn. She's really good. I've read a bunch of her books. This is, I think, part of the Amish Country Justice series. I've read a couple books in this series. It's quite good. With the Amish love-inspired books, you find a lot of them are Amish adjacent, as I like to say. So the main characters may not be Amish themselves, but the characters may be living and or hiding in Amish country. So just so you're aware. Then we have Plain Jeopardy by Allison Stone. Allison Stone writes a lot for the love-inspired suspense line. Her books are fabulous as well. And this is one that I am going to be reading this month. We have Amish Rescue by Debbie Ginsty. So yeah, so that one looks really good. Hiding with the Amish. And this is part of the Amish Protector series. So yeah. And then I wanted to talk about two books very quickly that are not actually love-inspired. Because I think for most people, when they think category romance and they think Amish, automatically it's love-inspired and love-inspired suspense and the love-inspired historical line. They had a couple of Amish books as well. But there were two books that I was able to find. One I'm currently reading, and one I need to get my hands on. It's actually part of a series. So the first one's an older book. It's part of a series. It came out in 2017. We have Plain Refuge by Janice K. Johnson. This is a Harlequin super romance novel. This is a line that is no longer being published, but she did a couple of these books in this series. Again, it's another one where I think the person is hiding in Amish country. That's a very big theme within these books, and I think it's a great gateway, if you will, to Amish books if you're not a reader of Amish books, because they don't deal as much with the faith aspect as these books would. They deal, of course, more with just the fact that they're an Amish country. So maybe check this one out if you're looking for something. And then the other one is a much newer release that came out in March of this year. And I just started it. I'm only just a little bit of the way through it. And this is A Deputy in Amish Country by Patricia Johns. So this is a heartwarming novel. And these, I think, would fit really well with the Amish theme, because the heartwarming books are sweet romances. So they're closed door. Actually, they're not even closed door. They're not even a fade to black. They're nothing. There is no adult content in these books at all. But there's no faith. It's not an inspirational book, so there's no faith-based fiction here. It's strictly just a sweet romance. And in this book, like I said, I just started it. Our main character witnessed a crime, and a murder at a bank, and he's a deputy, and he's hiding around at his farm in Amish country. So again, that whole hiding in Amish country thing, that theme. So if you're like watching my channel and you're like, I don't know about Amish books, you know, but you're a romance reader, I know I can vouch for Patricia Johns that she is a fabulous author. So maybe pick this one up, you know, like, and just give it a try just to see what you think about it. So yeah, I don't, like I said, I just started it, but I can vouch for this author that she's great. So anyway, guys, this video was a little rambly, a little all over the place. I mentioned a lot of books in this video, but I will leave a list of all of them in the description box below if you guys want to go ahead and find them and check them out. The one thing I can say is they're all available as ebooks. So all of the books that I've just talked about are all available digitally. So if you want to pick one up, you absolutely can find it relatively easily. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and let me know, are you participating in Amish in April? I keep stumbling over that. Clearly, I need more coffee this morning, you guys. Are you participating in Amish in April? What books are you reading? Or if you have any questions about category romance in general, please let me know. And until my next video, take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.